So welcome to this episode of Talkin English. We're here to spotlight industry folk and people that really have a lot of passion about the game and are bringing it forward. One of those guys, Kevin Stier.
Oh,
Integrity Cues. One of my favorite brands out there.
Sir.
My favorite people in the industry.
Thank you.
You've supported me and countless others, up and down the East Coast for many, many years now. Yeah. And I really want people to know your story. What makes Kevin, the best cue collector, dealer, seller, consignment out there. And I'd love to also explore the journey that you've had with PA Paul, with Frank Maialetti, and obviously making this tournament the success it is right now. So
sure.
Tell us a little bit about you, where you come from, what you've been doing in the industry. Do you have a full-time job aside of this?
Yeah.
Is this your passion project?
Yeah, this is my passion project. I'm a full-time union crane operator in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And I've been playing pool, hanging out in the Philadelphia pool scene for probably since, I think it's about 1994. So,
94.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look that old.
Probably 14, 15 years old. Same story. Found the pool room.
Yeah.
And I never left.
What was the first pool hall?
First time I played pool, I was probably about, I would say I was about maybe 12 or 13 years old with my mother. We were on vacation in Hershey Park.
Okay.
She took me into a bar. We had lunch with my father, and that was
in love.
Yeah, I had fun. We're city kids. It was no fun for us. No.
So who was your idol kind of like when you first maybe started watching professional billiards? Did you have someone that was just like...
No, I was more in it for the social aspect of it. Okay. I really didn't play a lot of pool. It wasn't an everyday thing. Whenever I got to the table or I got around the industry or I went to a tournament in my teens, I used to sneak in once in a while and check it out. I loved the beat. It was always the atmosphere.
It was the atmosphere.
That was the most, the most fun was it.
There was a bit of gambling. There was some other things.
Yeah, there was fun. There was arguments. There was fights, and there was also good pool. And then there was a lot of friendships and camaraderie and things like that. So that was another thing that drew me to it, because everybody's real like-minded in the business. Most of the people, you're here for the same thing. So there's that little niche of people who are in that single circle, and that's where you really want to be.
Kind of in that make pool great again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it went through its dip, it was big in the 90s, took a bit of a dip in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I feel like now Matchroom and, a lot of industry folk are trying to bring it back to where it really was. And I think it's even better than before.
Well, most of the people are starting to work together. That's the thing I've been seeing over the industry. I found in all the years I've been around on and off, and I had my own room at one time and did some tournament direction. I played in leagues. It still probably is a little bit, but most of the time it was a real selfish business.
I didn't know you had your own room.
Yeah. At 011 to 015, I had my own room.
Wow, okay.
So, and it's been real selfish. Everybody's, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? Now it's turning into an area where all the top people, and I think behind the scenes where we don't see for the last 30 years, a lot of the real top companies always collaborated.
Right.
And you just didn't see it. But now everybody's coming together, room owners, tournament directors. I mean, look, we're here today. We have other pool room owners from the area participating in the Pennsylvania Open. They're at a competing pool room, and they're here. And we have other tournament directors that are refereeing. They all volunteer to come in, and they want to make it. They want to be part of it. And that's where that line stops, where it's no longer competition. It's the people collaborating to be here, to be part of something monumental, and to just make the industry better.
That's so difficult to do. I've seen so many pool rooms over the years just war with each other and not get on the same page, not run like a thing. I was talking to Frank earlier, and he's saying about being a feeder tour into the pro circuit.
Right.
That would be fantastic for amateurs and semi-pros to have something to aspire to, because we've seen it with the APA, more of a social aspect, more of that.
Right.
They kind of cap it off. I don't think they want to be interested in saying, hey, here's our best player. Off you go and be a pro now.
And they may not want to venture off that way too, because
correct,
being a top APA player doesn't mean you can come in here and you can compete with the pro players on a 9-foot table. Right. Because it's the luck of the draw. And that's true. And everybody's working that direction. There's probably a little anxiety and jealousy among some people, and I'm sure it's real quiet, but for the most part, when we threw this whole thing together, people were calling in. They're like, hey, how can we be part of this? We want to help. And that's what you need. And you need the collaboration. And you need people who don't really care about the end result. When pool's good, the industry's good. And it's in any industry. It's in golf, it's in tennis. When there's people out there working hard, putting their best foot forward, and they're there for the sole reason to make the industry better, things work. And there's no other way around it. And that's where we're at now.
So you mentioned obviously being a room owner, obviously tournament director. Was Integrity Cues always around? Did that brand evolve from that, or were you just buying and selling instantly?
Yeah, I was more hobby, and I've been around the business a long time. I was at the Super Billiard Expo many years working with my friend Kenny. He's the one that got me into business, and some other guys. And I just love to collect cues. I love to play, and I'm obviously a construction industry guy, and that really wasn't mainly by choice. I kind of did that because that's what I was offered, so I had to do that. So doing this is something that I want to do, and that's been the game changer. It doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like work. I get to meet great people. I get to go great places, and it just feels like it's never been a job. I've been here, 36 hours, 40 hours in a couple of days. Doesn't matter. I would do 100 hours.
I think it's like, and again, I was talking about, brand recognition, brand strength.
Yeah.
You can say you're Integrity Cues, but I feel like you're someone that lives and breathes it. You didn't just put your money where your mouth is. You came into this venue and said, hey, I can take the trash out. Hey, I can help set things up. I can paint some walls. How many people do you think would do that?
Only the ones that would sit at my table to eat.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And maybe not some of them. It's been a challenge, but we wanted to do it, and we did it. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me just being part of the industry, because sometimes people measure success differently. And I was just talking to Steve Dunkel, who's one of my friends. He's also one of the sponsors here. Me and Steve go back many years. And he said, sometimes success is measured in different wavelengths and different areas. And, success for me is being part of this. That's a success.
Seeing the people you're investing in succeed, right?
Yeah. I mean, people helped me get here. I wasn't, you can't know everything about.
You got this venture off the ground for me, and obviously for Josh Setterfield as well.
Yeah.
We're under the Billiard Sports Network, who you were promoting. And now look, Talking English, you're on your own podcast, mate.
I'm in, man.
Title sponsor.
This is how I wanted it to be, and if it's gonna better pool, and it's gonna be with good people like yourself and Josh. I'm here.
Hi, I'm Josh Setterfield, founder of the Billiard Sports Network. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing, I'm just gonna ask you real quick to pay the fee. Leave a comment down below, share the video with a friend, and hit that thumbs up button. Anything you do is gonna help us in the algorithm, which of course helps boost the content so more people can enjoy it. And if you're really loving what you see, consider becoming a channel member so you can directly contribute to helping us keep this content evolving, growing, and getting better and better. If you can't tell, from the bottom of our hearts, we're doing everything that we can to help elevate the industry. All right, back to the episode.
And I know the pro game inside out, and I know everything that, these guys get highlighted and spotlighted. The thing for Talking English for me was always about people like yourself. People that are selfless in their actions and saying, hey, I'm gonna do everything I can to kind of help out, run a full-time job, got a family. So your boy just went off to college.
Yeah, Houston, Texas, trade school. Yeah.
Right.
So came back to do this.
It's just nice how it comes like full circle.
Yeah.
You could have spent some more time with your son, but you came back and you'd already made that commitment.
Yeah, I'm committed. I'm committed to the pool, and we also driven. Frank, Mindy, myself, we're driven by the people who couldn't do it, right. The people that tried to do it. They couldn't do it. The people that did it for their own selfish reasons, the people that came in to the Philadelphia game, the Pennsylvania game, they came in they're going to change the game. They're going to do they said they're going to do exactly what we were going to do, and they never did it. And when that happens 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you really love the game, you feel like you kind of sort of have to swoop in and save it.
Right.
Like, this is not how it works. And when we first launched this thing, we heard a lot of feedback, a lot of pushback from people. Oh, it's the same. It's this, it's that. It's not. Give us a chance. You know what I mean? And they did. And now we got some professional pool players. Some guys came out of retirement. Like Eddie Abraham wanted to be part of it. He come in and he's been, around this area, been a friend of ours for many years. And he said, listen, I want to play.
It's a legend.
A legend in Philly. So we are starting to move things in the right direction. And that's what we wanted to do. We want people to come here and play in this tournament and be part of it just like we want to be part of it. We want like-minded people, and we want the players. And we're going to have some roadblocks. We're going to have some bumps in the road, but if you deliver it, it's good. It's like a restaurant. I compare it to a restaurant. If the food's good, there's a line.
Right.
And for so many years in Philly, the first tournament was going good. The second tournament went good. The third tournament. By the time you got to the fourth tournament, there was no prize money, and the first place guy didn't get his money for 9 months. Wow. And there was issues, and everybody was coming to do it because it was instant gratification for them. And that's the other issue with the whole billiard industry. Everybody wants to hit a home run right off the bat. They want to hit a grand slam, and they want to go down to Cancun, Mexico, and hang out. It's not the way things work, and we're going to change that.
Things take time. People have built brands. They've gone up, down. They've been, I was talking to Oscar last night. He said he didn't have $2 to rub together, and then bringing it all the way back to where he is now and sitting on top of the world. I appreciate people that put in the hard work.
And he's had help, and we've had help. We want to launch this thing. Some of the sponsors on the banner, they're friends of mine. They called me and said, "Hey, we want to get in here. How do we be part of it? If you're there, we want to be there." And that's what I wanted, because they know that my name carries weight, and that's the most important thing. I don't want anybody to say anything bad about me, and only the competition does once in a while. They think I don't hear about it, but I do.
Of course you do.
But it's okay. But I'll help them too.
If they're not talking about it, you're not doing something right?
I've always been that way. A lot of guys say I'm the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the billiard industry, and maybe that's the case.
I see the resemblance, and we're looking at the belt now.
Yeah, no, well, just
How much do you want that belt?
What's that?
How much do you want to hold that belt?
Oh.
Is that dream gone?
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. No more. I'm done.
Let's talk about your sponsored player, Rachel.
Yes.
How's her journey been since she come on board with you?
A 180.
180, right?
Yeah. She's just, and all the time I've been doing this, she's one of the best people I think I've ever met. More genuine. That's the word I use for her.
Yeah.
She was had the passion for the game, played in and out, and then she got back in the game, went to, I think she went to Massachusetts at Yale Billiards.
Okay.
Won a big tournament up there. I think she came in second. It's a real nice prize money, real nice tournament for her to win. And then one of our mutual friends, Jimmy Lawless, had mentioned to her, maybe you ought to upgrade your equipment. There's a guy in Philly that sells some cues. So she contacted me, and the instant I met her, I was like, man, this one here, she's something different. You just kind of get that feeling. It's not your typical pool player that says that they want to do things. She was like, I want to improve my game. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So as I got to know her, and we connected through the queue, and I had a totally different direction the way I was going to go with the sponsorship. I figured I wanted to get my name out there. I wanted to get somebody with, representing my brand. But you have to be very careful when you do that, because some people aren't what they say they are, right, and then they change down the road. And she seemed to be pretty consistent. And the more we got along, the more we got to know each other. And her goals were just, they were different goals, but her passion to go. And she's like, I just want to win. And I'm like, that's what I need right there, So I approached her last year. I don't know, it's been maybe a year and a half. And I said, hey, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to be part of my journey? She was like, yeah, let's do it. And since then, she's won a couple titles, Delaware title, came in, top 6, top 4, top 3 in a few tournaments. She won the Super Billiard Expo, women's amateur event. That was a huge win. And so
that was a national amateur, wasn't it?
Yeah.
National?
Yeah. So that was one of the highlights of her career, obviously moving forward. And really and the other thing is, she played sporadically, a couple months, on and off, worked on and off. And she's really only been playing seriously for about a year. And you don't play a lot of pool in a year when you have a job and things. When she came on the scene, she's like, I want to win a couple of amateur tournaments, Super Billiard Expo, zipped right through it. And then that was big for my brand. And I'm happy to have her. I mean, I'm
yeah, she's awesome. I see her around the room. She's talking to everyone. She's very, very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah. And she's grateful also for the opportunities, and
It takes a lot of pressure off. People don't realize, the travel expenses, hotel, entry fees, things like that.
yeah, and when somebody believes in you too, I believe in her. I think she could be a champion. I mean, and obviously it's a journey, but I believe she can do it. I believe anybody can do it, but specifically we're really connected on a personal level and on a business level, professional level. And I'm 100%.
How many other, now they've seen the success and, the support that you pumped into one particular player. I imagine your inbox and your phone's been ringing off the hook, right? Hey,
Yeah.
I want to be a player for Kevin.
Yeah.
Integrity cues.
Yeah. It's been
How do you handle that?
one a day
One a day?
for the last year. No, it's my decision, and
You pick and choose.
and nobody's gonna carry my name unless it's me. And we've known each other quite a few years, and
I've never asked one the same.
well, no, obviously you might.
I don't
yeah.
need that. Yeah.
Oh, but I'm saying, you got to align yourself with the right people, and I just don't. I won't make that decision. I look at the menu for a long time, and I make sure that it's right. And I did a little homework on Rachel too. It wasn't really instant. I got some.
It's been heard a few times,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
start to do your due diligence.
You have to make sure, and it was probably on a full scale of my business. It was one of the best decisions I made to have somebody that's exactly like me in general to represent my company. And I get compliments all the time. It's always, wow, Rachel was showing somebody that she, beat in the tournament, the shot they missed. She's also trying to help people, and they're saying, how'd you make that shot? And she'll set it up and show you. So you lose, and then she shows you how to make the shot that you messed up on. So
We call that twisting a knife where I'm from.
yeah. Her intentions are a little
I know,
different.
yeah.
But so the buzz is good, and I get a lot of people asking me, but I don't. When I'm ready, I'm ready. I'll figure it out. And
You're doing great things.
and if not, then less is more. I always, and this is the advice I give everybody: quality over quantity. It's been my biggest lesson in this industry. Quality over quantity, and I tell everybody the same thing. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not.
With your business now, how many cues are you selling every year? Is it booming the way that you expected it to?
It's a few hundred. Yeah, it's a few hundred a year, and we have different services too. I think I'm shipping on average between 500 and 600 boxes a year, products, cues, cases. I do a little bit of consignment for people. I do some escrow service for some safe transactions. Obviously, I have a big market now with ep5 Philly right in my backyard, so I'm constantly making purchases for them, ordering, drop shipping. So we're pretty big.
So drop us a story from your years of trading. What's the nicest cue you've ever had come through the door and thought, man, I wish I could keep this, or I have kept it? Because I'm a cue nerd.
That's a tough one because there's probably about 30 of them. But one that I can say was actually, I don't think I kept any.
You didn't keep any?
Yeah, I'm in the sale business, so it comes in.
You sound like Simon Diwali.
It comes in and it goes. I mean, there's a few that I wish I kept. There's a few like obviously I'm from the Philadelphia area, so Zamboti's a big name. There's been some buses that came through, some Barry Zambotis, some just real big cues. But I'm a planer guy,
Right.
so I like a planer cue. I just like a regular Merry Widow with a leather wrap or linen wrap. So none of them come in that are really knocking my socks off. If I want them, I order them from my cue maker friends. I don't, nothing's really came in, and I had to have it.
All right, let's put a dollar amount on it. What's the highest value cue that's been through the door that you've sold? If you don't want to mention it, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's see, probably about $16,000 Gus Zamboti.
Okay.
It was really nice cue. Belonged to a good friend of mine who passed away, and I was helping him sell his collection. That was the one, but multiple cues. There's been a lot. I probably sold. I would think. I really launched the brand in 2020 was when I really went full bore. When I got tired of being a hobbyist and I just wanted to do something more. I probably sold I mean, between the Super Billiard Expos, the local APA trade deals, that 600 number was just what I mailed out, labels and things like that. Because I ship all over the world. I would say I probably sold a couple thousand cues, maybe 4,000 or 5,000. It's been so many. It's just every day it's 4 or 5, 4 or 5, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I send out 4 and I get 8 in.
Yeah.
So, and my consignment business is big too, because it's good for people with safe transactions, people who don't have the time or necessarily don't have the packing materials or they don't really know what they have. I help them price it. I help them, and I get help along the way too. I have friends I call if I have a little bit of it, so I give them some credit too. I got some real close friends that help me out too, because you can't know everything. And so we do a few hundred a year.
That's incredible. Is there any like collectors actually, I'm going to step back a step. Well, what would be for you the top 3 brands for a collector to have in their possession? I don't think somebody asked me a couple months ago what the Mount Rushmore is. I think the Mount Rushmore is probably of cues. I don't know. Some people would disagree. I think there's 10, 12. You think so?
Yeah. I mean, it's all different. It's like cars, some people, I don't know. I mean, people obviously name the 3 big ones. You got Usain Bolt, obviously one of the biggest teams ever.
Right.
Bushka, one of the biggest teams ever. He's, from New York. You got Barry, his son, he's making some cues, and they don't have a lot of cues out there. So their desirability and collectability is right out there. I mean, they're very hard to get.
Like Black Boar as well.
Black Boar's up there. You got Ron Haley, who recently moved on from us months ago. And obviously you got, some people who are up there with those guys like Pete Tascarella. I mean, some of his cues are top notch. Bob Manzino in Florida, he's up there. There's probably, I mean, everybody's going to give you a different answer. But
Dennis
Searings. Oh yeah, Dennis Searings. I see. There's so many top guys that you think, there's not really a Mount Rushmore of 4. I mean, there's some collectors who say that theirs are worth more, mine are worth more, mine are this, mine, and great, wonderful. But
Richard Tsunami.
Yeah.
Rich. I told you I'll get you a mention. Told you.
But yeah, I think that there's the Mount Rushmore is probably maybe 10 or 12, and there's some that are dark horses too. They're the ones that I like the guys I personally play with the Steve Dunkel custom. Steve's been a friend of mine for many, many years. And when I pick up his cue, I feel like I'm SVB.
Right.
It's just a feel. I love it. The work's good. So he's one of those guys
who's on his list. He's not making cues anymore.
Yeah.
He's trade the old ones.
Yeah. He's backed up and he's, he's got a fantastic break and a fantastic jump cue. Yeah. They're just phenomenal cues. Yeah. They're engineered perfect. They work and people love them.
So one of my next ideas is to do a jump cue review with Mika Immonen over in New York. And I'm going to have to ask Steve if I can purchase one of his and see if I can put him into the mix.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rachel has one. If you're going to do the interview and you're going to do it, we can just drive up, come hang this day. Lunch on you.
All right, buddy. That's a great place to end.
I'm in.
Thanks so much for talking to us, man. It's been really, really nice. Best of luck with the rest of the event, and hope to see you again soon, buddy.
Yes, you will.
Be good.
No, thank you, my friend.
This episode is brought to you by Integrity Cues, BSN's trusted source of premium pool cues and accessories. Shop the entire inventory online now at integritycues.com.